Where do you kiss a woman so she can't stop thinking about you? This isn't just about pleasure, it's about influence. Because every place you kiss her can do more than turn her on. It can unlock something emotional inside her, something she didn't even know was there. So today, I'll show you the 6 most powerful places to kiss a woman. Not just to arouse her, but to make her feel seen, wanted, and deeply desired. Because kissing isn't just physical. It's a psychological tool. And if you know how to use it the right way, you won't just give her a good moment, you'll leave a memory she can't forget. Let's get into it. The neck, her silent weakness. The neck is one of the most sensitive and emotional parts of her body. Not because it's obvious, but because it's exposed, unprotected, vulnerable. She can't see it. She can't guard it. It's where her feelings and instincts come together. And when your lips touch it, she doesn't just feel the kiss on her skin. She feels it deep in her chest, in her breath, in her nervous system. Most men skip past it. They go straight for what they think will impress. Lips, chest, thighs. But the man who understands real desire slows down. He leads. He doesn't chase. Here's how you do it right. Don't rush in. Don't kiss her right away. Stand close. Let your breath touch her neck first. Let her feel the heat before the touch. Now slowly move your nose along her skin. Not to smell, to sense, to feel her energy, to read the story her body is telling without words. And still, wait. Let her want the kiss. Let her body lean in without her realizing. Then, when the moment feels heavy, give her one slow kiss on the side of her neck. Soft lips, open, warm, present. No pressure, no hurry. Her body will respond, not with shock, but with surrender. She might close her eyes, her breathing might pause, and in that pause, she opens up. Because this kiss didn't come from lust, it came from control. You didn't push her, you didn't chase her, you simply touched the one place that holds emotional tension and let her feel safe. That's what changes her. Because kissing her neck is not about excitement. It's about connection, depth, stillness, power. You're showing her, I'm not here to take anything. I'm here to awaken something. And when you kiss her like that, she doesn't just remember the moment. She remembers you, not because you tried to be bold, but because you knew when to be quiet. You didn't leave a mark on her skin. You left it on her memory. And that's the kind of kiss that never fades. Her lower back. The lower back is one of the most overlooked parts of a woman's body. It's not her lips, not her chest, not her thighs. Most men skip it completely. And that's exactly why it matters. Because the lower back, that soft curve between her spine and her hips, isn't just a body part. It's emotional space. It's where her body holds pressure. It's where she carries weight, physical and emotional. It supports her every day, but rarely gets attention. Here's the truth. Most people never touch it with care, never kiss it with presence, never treat it as something meaningful. But when you do, when you kiss her lower back slowly, gently, with no rush, you don't just surprise her body. You surprise her heart. She's not used to it. She's not ready for it. So her body responds. Before her mind can explain why, this kiss doesn't scream, I want you. It quietly says, I see you. That one slow kiss, calm, still, intentional, tells her something powerful. You don't need to perform. You don't need to impress me. You can just be. Because you didn't kiss her to get something. You kissed her to give something. Attention, stillness, connection. And that kind of kiss, it breaks walls she didn't even know were there. Most men rush to the parts they think are exciting. They chase the places that get reactions. But you chose a place that feels forgotten and gave it meaning. Here's how to do it right. Put your hand gently on her waist. Slowly move it down to her lower back. Don't squeeze, just rest it there. Let her feel your energy. Calm, grounded, sure. Now bring your lips close. Let your breath touch her skin before your mouth does. Wait. Then give her one soft kiss. Not too long, not too quick, just present. Then stop. Don't say anything. Let her feel what just happened. Because it wasn't about excitement, it was about presence. And in that still moment, she doesn't just feel kissed, she feels understood. That part of her, the one holding stress, holding silence, just got touched with care. And now it remembers you. Not because you did something big, but because you did something real. You kissed the part no one sees, and in doing so, she felt seen. And that's a mark no lips can erase. Inside of the arm, where she lets you in. There's a secret place on her body most men ignore. It doesn't call for attention. It's not what you'd call sexy, but it carries quiet emotional power. It's the soft, pale skin on the inside of her arm, between her elbow and her underarm. This spot is gentle, sensitive, private, filled with nerves and meaning. Why? Because it's not touched often. It's protected, hidden. Even she forgets it's there. But when you find it, and you treat it with care, something inside her changes. This isn't about turning her on. It's not about control or desire. It's about trust. That small area whispers something stronger than lust. It whispers safety, closeness, real connection. When you kiss it slowly, no rush, no pressure, her body relaxes in ways she didn't expect. She doesn't think, "This is hot." She just feels held, seen, accepted. That's because this part of her body doesn't crave touch. So when you choose to kiss it, it feels like a gift, not a demand. Here's how to do it. You're sitting next to her, or maybe lying beside her. You gently lift her arm. Run your fingers along the inside, slow and soft, like you're reading her like a book no one else has opened. Then lean in. Don't speak, don't announce. Just one warm kiss, light, deep, placed exactly in that space. Then another, maybe a little higher. Then stop. Let her feel the moment. Look at her, not like a man who wants something, but like a man who understands something. She may smile quietly. She might close her eyes or sigh, not because of passion, but because her body feels safe, deeply safe. That kiss doesn't ask for anything, it gives something, and that's what makes it powerful. Because when a woman feels like you're not trying to take from her, but enter her world gently, she begins to open. Not fast, not loudly, but in a way that lasts. She remembers it, she replays it, and she starts to trust you more than she can explain. That kiss becomes the key to her body, her emotions, her walls. So never overlook the inside of her arm. It may seem small, but it's a doorway. And if you kiss it right, she lets you in. Her collarbone. The silent curve of vulnerability and admiration. There's a quiet space on a woman's body, one that doesn't seek attention. It doesn't demand, it simply invites. Her collarbone. This space rests at the edge of her presence, not loud, not obvious, but full of meaning. It holds more than physical beauty. It holds vulnerability, grace, tension, and emotion, all in one place. A woman's collarbone reveals what words often hide, not because of what she says, but because of how she breathes. It's a place where her guard naturally lowers, where her strength meets her softness, and where stillness lives. When a man notices this space, truly notices it, he's not focused on desire. He's focused on presence. He doesn't rush, he doesn't lean in to take. He simply pauses. And in that pause, she feels something deeper. Not pressure, not expectation, but reverence. He may trace his fingers lightly along that curve, not to impress, but to honor. Or maybe when the moment is right. He brings his lips to rest there, soft, slow, and still. Not to spark a reaction, but to offer calm attention. Because the collarbone isn't just physical, it's emotional. It says, "This is who I am when I'm not performing." And when a man meets her in that space, without demand, without ego, she doesn't just feel touched, she feels seen. She softens, not out of weakness, but because she feels safe. And safety, That's what stays with her. This isn't about attraction in the usual sense. It's about recognition. The kind of recognition that doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard. When he slows down enough to notice this part of her, when he shows that her quietest places are worth attention, something inside her remembers. Because in a world of noise and distraction, a man who chooses stillness over performance becomes unforgettable. She may not say it, she may not explain it, but she feels it, and she holds on to that moment, not because it was dramatic, but because it was rare. He didn't try to win her over. He didn't try to impress her. He just chose to understand her. And in that understanding, she found peace. Behind the ear, there's a secret spot on her body. Soft, hidden, almost forgotten. Most men never think about it. But once you learn to use it, you'll see why it holds such deep power. It's the skin just behind her ear. It's not as obvious as her lips, not as intense as her thighs, but it holds something even stronger, the key to emotional control. Why is it so powerful? Because the area behind the ear is warm, delicate, and packed with nerves. It's close to her brain, to her sense of hearing, to the part of her that listens without thinking. When you get close to it, you're not just touching her body, you're speaking directly to her nervous system. But don't rush this. This isn't about bold moves. It's about building silent tension. Step in. Close the space. Let her feel your breath before your touch. Don't lay a hand on her yet. Let your presence create pressure. Now move your face closer. Not to her mouth, to her ear. Let your lips hover beside it, just barely there. Then whisper. Software. Slow. Deep. Don't try to be poetic. Don't speak too much. Say one thing, a command, a name, a promise. Don't move. You're mine. Or just, you feel this, don't you? Let the sound hit her in waves. Then stop speaking. Pause. Hold the space. Now kiss, just behind the ear. No rush, no pressure, no performance. A warm, slow kiss, full of presence and control. That single kiss will ripple through her body. Not just physically, emotionally. She'll feel owned without force. And here's where it gets powerful. You don't explain. You don't keep going. You stop. Pull back. Go quiet. And that silence, it becomes an echo inside her mind. She won't understand why it felt so intense, why that moment stays in her body, but she'll replay it. She'll crave it. Because it wasn't just about the kiss. It was about how it made her feel. Taken without being asked, seen without being exposed. And when a woman feels that kind of tension, that kind of psychological pull, she doesn't let it go. She imagines it. She dreams of it. She remembers you. And that one kiss, that moment, becomes the trigger that pulls her back, again and again. The inner thigh, where control creates craving. There's a hidden part of her body that most men never understand. It's close to her desire, but not the place itself. Her inner thigh, not the outer thigh that gets touched carelessly, not the obvious part, but the soft space inside, quiet, warm, private. That's what makes it powerful. This area doesn't beg for attention. It invites it, softly, silently. And if you know how to respond to that silence, you'll touch something deeper than her body. You'll touch her craving. Kissing her inner thigh isn't just about being physical. It's about showing her something rare, that you could take more, but you choose not to. Not yet. And it's that choice, that delay, that makes her crave you. Here's how to do it right. Don't go straight to it. Don't be eager. Don't be greedy. Move slow. Stay in control. Let your fingers trace the inside of her thigh, barely touching, just brushing. Let your breath sit close to her skin, warm, teasing, present. And still, you don't kiss yet. Wait. Let her body want it before you give it. Then, one kiss, just one, software slow, full of intention, not close enough to take her, but close enough to say, I could. And then, stop. Pull away. Let the space speak. Let her body stay awake in the silence you left behind. That pause, that moment she doesn't expect. It's what makes her lose control. Because you didn't just kiss her. You controlled her imagination. and her imagination. It keeps going long after the kiss ends. Now she's thinking, wondering, feeling, not about what happened, but what almost happened. She's not addicted to your touch, she's addicted to your restraint. Because you didn't rush, you didn't need to take more. You knew the power of stopping at the edge. That's what makes her feel seen and unsteady. Safe, but still craving more. And that craving? It's not something she forgets. Because the man who knows when to pause, when to lead without pressure, when to kiss without needing, that man doesn't just touch her body, he stays in her thoughts, in her emotions, in her desire, not because he finished the story, but because he left one page unwritten. Her hands, the language of the heart. There's something quiet, sacred, and deeply human about a person's hands. They carry more than function, they carry memory. A woman's hands are not just instruments of movement. They are how she holds others, how she expresses emotion, how she creates comfort or draws boundaries. They reveal how she's lived, how she's loved, and how she lets someone in. When a man chooses to focus there, not for reaction, not for display, but with calm presence, something rare is felt. This is not about trying to spark something fast. It's about offering stillness. You begin with care. You hold her hand not as a formality, but like it matters. Not a grip, not a performance, just presence. No words are needed. You look at her, gently, respectfully, as if her silence holds more meaning than speech. You bring her hand toward you, and perhaps, if it feels right, you press a soft gesture of appreciation to the center of her palm. Not dramatic, not rushed, just still. Maybe you rest there for a moment, acknowledging the quiet story her hands carry. The wrist, where her heartbeat speaks without words, may follow. And if your presence remains calm and sincere, even the tips of her fingers can become a place of mindful connection, not as an act of pursuit, but as a language of respect. And here's what few understand. When a man gives attention to the parts of her most people overlook, she doesn't feel taken, she feels understood. Because the hands are where we build, where we protect, where we give without needing to speak. This kind of moment is not loud. It doesn't try to prove anything. It simply offers something pure, presence. And when that happens, she may not say much. She may even fall silent. But something shifts. It's not confusion, it's recognition. Because in a world that often rushes to the obvious, you noticed what no one else does. Not to impress, not to possess, but to understand. And that understanding, that's what lingers. People forget what they see every day, but they remember what feels rare. So if your presence can be that rare moment, one that's thoughtful, grounded, and fully there, you're not just part of a memory, you become a message. Final words. This was never just about touch. It was about presence, about emotional understanding. Each moment you shared, each pause, each gesture, became more than physical. They became silent messages, gentle impressions. You didn't rush to take. You moved with intention, calmly, thoughtfully. And in doing so, you didn't just reach her body, you reached her mind. He didn't act with noise, he acted with awareness. She didn't respond with reaction, she responded with reflection. From the quiet of her back, to the inside of her arm, to the space behind her ear, to the softness of her hands. He chose places no one else noticed. He slowed down where others sped up. He gave presence where others sought approval. And because of that, she remembers. Not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was rare. She expected attention, but he gave her understanding. She thought she knew what connection felt like. Then he showed her something quieter, deeper. Where most men seek more, he chose to do less, but with meaning. And that made all the difference. Now, it's not just a memory of touch, it's a memory of being seen, being felt, being safe. That's what lingers. Because when someone connects with your mind, the body responds once, but the memory plays again and again. So if this shifted something inside you, if you understand now that the most powerful connection isn't about control, it's about calm awareness, comment the word marked and subscribe, because what comes next will go deeper, sharper, and stay longer.